I'm just very happy to see the count, guys. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Um, okay, so research program OutSystem conducts the research program. Uh, where you can sign up again on OutSystems website. You search for research program. You can sign up. You can participate. Just answer simple survey questions, and for that you will get rewarded. Okay, that is very simple. Organizers. So there are three organizers for Pune user group. Khizar Sheikh, those who are from Pune, those who followed Pune user group from beginning, you might know about him. Khizar Sheikh, he is one of the user group organizer. He is head of India operations at Apsis. Then I'm Neha Sheikh. I work at Zebia. I am the one of the organizer for Pune user group. I work as a senior consultant and also I'm a OutSystems trainer at Zebia. Then Shubham Sharma, he is also one of the user group organizer, Pune user group organizer, senior consultant and trainer at Zebia. He's also very active, and you might know him on, ADP list. He's one of the top mentors on ADP list. Okay. Okay. We have Shubham with us, I guess. I don't know, but Shubham and myself, we both are the hosts for this session. Okay.
Oh,
Yep. And let me know about. Okay. Speaker, we have Murli Manohar, who's you can see he's our speaker for the day, and he is one of the expert of AI in OutSystems in Zebia that we have. He is the tech lead right now in Zebia, and um, he has very good like you can say experience in OutSystems. His talk was selected last time for one conference as well, and after that he has been speaking for many of the sessions in different user groups. So he's one of the expert that we have in Zebia for OutSystems. So thank you so much, Murli, for agreeing to take this session and take this masterclass. Actually, thank you so much.
yeah,
And I guess we can start the technical session
yeah,
from now here. Thank you so much for
yes,
sharing the screen as well. I'm so sorry,
yeah.
my
Thank you so much, Neha, also for giving this wonderful opportunity. Yeah, Sawan Namaskar Subadubar. I think I spelled right because it takes much time to learn this thing in the Marathi. I hope I spelled right. The hi everyone and good afternoon. So this side Murli already Neha introduced about myself. So I am from Sivagasi, known as the Cracker City and Kuti, Japan, and I have been working in Sebia for the past 2 years, and I have a experience of nearly 5 years in the industry. So as like Neha mentioned, I my talk got selected in last year's one conference as well as the Developer Days Bangalore. So this is my first session with the Pune user group, and I hope you all enjoy this AI masterclass. And actually, I thank Neha for giving this wonderful opportunity and keeping these classes on the weekdays, because I know in the weekend most of you are occupied with IPL and other kind of activities. So thanks for keeping it in the weekdays. And usually, whenever I am starting a session, I always tell a fact and a quote. So there may be chances you may hear this quote already in my speak during the developer days or some other user groups. So the quote is, an apple a day keeps a doctor away. As like the same, an OutSystems and a developer a day keeps clients worry away. So that's a quote. And another fact, you may not aware about this. Uh, do you ever know how OutSystem is named as OutSystems? Actually, I also recently hear that from one of the interview from the Paulo Rosado. He's the one of the OutSystems. So what he mentioned is in 2003 he planned. Actually, what he planned is he just see that most of the applications are in the enterprise level data centers. So he just want to move those things into the application service providers. And so first of all, he thought of naming the OutSystems as cloud systems because he wants to move it from enterprise data centers to the cloud area. After that, the word out comes to his mind because they are moving out from the enterprise level data centers. So he planned to name it as the OutSystems. So I am submitting my sincere gratitude to him because without him, we are all not here and we are working in this beautiful platform. Actually, he started that in 2003 and launched the same in 2004. So at that time, most of us are just a children, and always showing that my gratitude to him. And thank you, everyone. After seeing the chat, you are joining from various locations. I just feel like in India we have one thing: unity in diversity. So I just feel that rhythm. So yeah, we can talk the technical session now. I will start. Yeah, actually, the main motto of the this session is AI in OutSystems. So after seeing the title, you may have the question rise: why AI in OutSystems? So you all know about currently the AI era is begins and everyone is using the AI in their application for certain use cases. Most probably, AI brings automation, personalization, and it enhances our application. It's used for the chatbots that is used to resolve the queries from the users end. So AI is everywhere. Currently, we are moving generative AI era to the agentic AI era. So it's definitely needed for every developers to move on into the AI field. So which AI? After we are discussing about the master class is based on the first session is based on we are going to integrate one of the AI model in OutSystems 11 as well as the ODC. So everyone will think which AI model we will use. There are lots of AI model in market nowadays. So for now we are planning to integrate only one model in this session. Based on that you can able to integrate the other models. So the model we plan to integrate is Gemini. Now the another question will come to your mind: there are lots of models. Why we are using Gemini for this session? The main thing is it's free to integrate. If you go to see the other AI models, some of them are free, most of them are paid ones. But if you take the Gemini, it has certain level of hits, is totally free. So that only I choose the Gemini for this masterclass. And if you see the other things from the Gemini 7 means it's a multi-model AI and it's a versatile, totally versatile one. And it has a lots of diverse use cases as like the it can able to analyze the image, video, and it can able to generate the content, both the textual as well as the image. As well as it's very smarter for the chatbots. Google is evolving the Gemini models day by day, so it's very good in answering the questions from the users. So that's the reason we have picked the Gemini for integrating in our masterclass. Then the next question is how we are going to get the credentials from Gemini. So the thing is we are not going to cover only how we are integrating Gemini in our system. We are going to see how we are getting Gemini credentials from the Google's AI Studio and how we are going to call the API. Then only we will see how we are going to integrate the thing in our system. Then only it's a complete masterclass for the AI integration. So the thing is, for getting the credentials from the Google AI to Gemini SAN, you need to go to the Google's AI Studio. After signing into that, you need to create one project. If you have already project with you, means there will be no issues at all. You can select your existing project and you can start creating the keys. Then you can click on the Get API key option. By using that option, the new API key will be generated. You can copy that API key and you can securely store from your end for the future purposes. And the main important note is the API key is just like a password. So if you share it with someone means it will be detected from your usages. Actually, the Gemini is free up to certain limits. The 2.0 flash in that you can able to hit 1500 times per day. And if you are using the pro version, you can able to hit 25 times per day. That's a limit from the Gemini send. So I will show the Google AI Studio how we are going to generate the APIs from the Google send. So I hope you are all ready for that. In the meanwhile, if you have any doubts, means just add that in the Q&A box, and I will clarify all your doubts at the end of the session. So we are going to open the Google AI Studio. You need to log in with your Gmail account into this. I will add this also, add this link and other things also in the end of the masterclass in the chat. So it will be useful for you guys. So to get the API key, as like I mentioned, you need to click on the Get API key button. It will take you to the API key creation area. So if you have a key already have means the keys will be listed here. If you want to create it from scratch, you can able to create a key whatever the time you feel. If the key is shared with someone or something means you can able to delete the keys also from here itself. And I already have some projects with me, so I am choosing one of the projects directly and I'm clicking on the create API key button. I will show, I will use this session with this API key. After that session, I will delete this, and I just copy the API keys from my end. It will be created and it's visible from here. In future, if you want to delete means you can directly go here and delete the API keys. So this is the way you need to get the API keys from the Google AI Studio. So once we are getting the API keys from the Google AI Studio, the next thing we are going to do is the next thing we need to test the API. So we are planning to use the Postman anyway, because before the integrating in the out system, we need to know about how the API is working, what are the things, how we are going to create a structure, because in API we need to provide the request. So we need to provide the request structure and everything. Those things will be available in the Google API documentation. You can go there and see that, but in this session I will share all the details with you once the session will complete. So the things we need to do is we need to add the endpoint in the Postman and need to add the request structure, and we need to check whether the API key is working or not. After that, we are going to integrate the same with OutSystems 11 and ODC. So I already have Postman open with me. So for reference purposes, I have a endpoint and other things. I already open those things in the notepad. I will share these things also once our session is done. So this one is the post method based API. So I'm currently adding the URL for Gemini 2.0 Flash, because for this API we will get 1500 hits per day, and the token limit is you can able to spend 1000 tokens per hit. Actually one token means the token cost 4 characters. It includes both the input as well as the output. So this is the JSON request in our end. I'm going to illustrate a simple kind of chatbot. Actually, you may the chatbot functionalities using AI nowadays in many of the applications. In those areas, if you go and ask any of the queries from your end, means the chatbot will answer from the data based in the website only. It won't go beyond. So as like the same, currently we are going to see how we are going to create a similar kind of chatbot. Not much, but what I'm doing is I'm just added a bills data here, nothing much. So our chatbot is going to from this bills data. Apart from that, it won't answer anything. So these are the things, as like I already mentioned while I am telling why we are using the Gemini. It's a multi-model based API. So if you see that it have a certain roles with it, the user, model, and the system from its end. So user can be able to ask the questions based on the model's text. Model and system will answer to your questions. So this is the thing. And currently we have generated the API key also. We are going to paste the API key and check whether the things are working fine. So we will check now. Yeah, the API response is full based. Currently, I just asked the question, just describe the document. So it just describes it's a invoice from the AMC grocery shop to AAA hotel. It lists the item purchased, their quantities, unit prices, and the total amount due. And it will give the other things also. Some of the metadata will be provided for you, whether any horse contents are there, and other things it will provide. So if you see that I already talk about the tokens. So the prompt token contains a 178 tokens. 178 means 178 into 4 characters. Each token costs 4 characters, and the result token also it provides, for example, the token details, it's 32. So for example, if you are uploading a bulk document which contains more than um, 1 lakh tokens means definitely you need to go for the Gemini's paid version. Currently we are going with the free version, so that's the limitations we have with our end. Fine, now the API is working fine with the Postman, so we can go to the next step of our AI masterclass. It's integrated, and we have checked the same in Postman also. The next thing is we are going to integrate it in OutSystems 11. It's a practical session. In this slide, you're just going to see what are the things we are going to do in the OutSystems 11, and we will see the demo of how we are integrating the same in the application, and we will see the output also. So the thing is, how we are going to do is we are going to integrate Gemini AI via the REST API integration option. So for that, we need to configure the endpoint, and we need to create structures for the request and response accordingly. Actually, the OutSystem automatically creates those things when you are configuring the endpoint. So after that, what we need to follow the OutSystem best practices also, so that we need to create a separate service module for the integration and make it as a reusable asset, so that you can able to reuse the same asset for different projects in your end. So I hope you are now ready for going to OutSystems 11, how we are going to integrate the AI in our end. So I have a service studio already opened in my end. So for that, you definitely need a service studio developer credentials or your company's credentials. After logging into that, I'm just going to create one application with one service module as well as the main module to demonstrate how we are going to integrate the Gemini AI in our application. So I'm creating a reactive web app. I will name this as Gemini because we are using the Gemini AI. And as per the best practices, we have already spoken about that. So I'm going to create one main UI module, which is a reactive web app, and I'm planned to create one service module which holds the API integration in our application. So I'm creating a main module first of all. As per the best practices in your projects, it's better to create a separate applications, and you can place the respective things for the based on the architecture level canvas. But for now, I'm creating both the main module and the service module in the same application with the naming convention. So I'm creating one UI module, I'm just publishing it to save that, and I'm going to create one IS module for the integration. So for integration, we need to select the type of service. The key difference is the main module contains all the four basic apps like the processes, interface, logic, and data, and the service application contains only the processes, logic, and data because it's mainly for the logics behind the scenes. So as like we have discussed earlier, I already created this service module, and we need to configure the AI in our end. So the main thing is we need to configure that as a REST service. So currently we are going to do consume REST service. We currently have only one method, so I am currently selecting the single method service. In Postman also, we use the post method for integrate. As like the same, we are currently using the post method in OutSystems also, and I'm adding the API endpoint, which have one input parameter, that's the API key. And we already have a test request with us. I'm just copying that. I already copied that and pasting the same here. So why I'm doing adding all these things are I'm just going to test this API, then only we will get the API response here. After that, we can able to copy this response to the body directly. So once I clicked on this button, if you come to see here, means the response automatically comes to here, and we need to paste the request from our end. So once we click on the finish button, the platform itself creates the structures for both the request and the response. I will show you. It's a bit slow. Yeah. After that, if you see that it creates one API method, and if you see that means it have one input parameter which is for the API key. The another one is the structure. If you go to the data tab, under the structures based on the API's name, it will create the relevant structures that needed for integrating Gemini AI with us. So if you see the request structure means JSON, we have added it in the test API's request body. So as like the same, the OutSystem automatically creates a structure for response also. So currently we have integrated the API method for Gemini in the OutSystems. So what we are going to do is currently we have created this API in a separate service module, right? So that as per the OutSystems norms, we can't be able to take the REST API methods as the dependency. So anyway, we need to create a wrapper for this to make this REST API method as a reusable one. If you see, that means if you click on any of the server action, the public property will be there, but for the REST API, it won't be there. It will be used inside the module itself, so that we need to write the wrapper for that. So for now, I'm creating one wrapper action for wrapper Gemini, and as per the best practices, the API key should be stored as a site property. So currently I am adding a site property for Gemini key, and we can use that site property in the assignment area. The thing we need to do is we just need to drag and drop the API method to here, and here we can assign that site properties value directly, and we need to give the request value to here. In this module, we can directly reuse structures and we can send the user the input, or else we can give the question and answer based things also. It's just a demo. So currently I am just copying these two things and adding these things as the input and output parameters. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the same thing, the request as the input, and the response, the output parameter, I am assigning it here. Set response to Gemini response. And last but not least, this is the main thing, we need to make this action as a public one. That's the much needed one. After changing that, it gives the error, right? Did you notice that? Because the structures are not private, so that we are receiving this error. Based on the thing, we need to select the structure, which one is needed. We need to mark the respective structure as public. But for demo purposes, I'm currently marking all the structures as public. If you want things means, we can reuse those things. So after changing the property to public, then now the error got vanished. So I'm going to publish this module. Once the publish is done, we can able to use the wrapper action anywhere inside this environment. So we are just going to create a simple UI, not a much complicated one. The simple UI which will contain a text box and a submit button and a list which portrays a chat kind structure. And the thing is, we already discussed, we are going to add a builds document, right? So I will add the builds data in the UA module directly. But if you want to use the same behavior for your end and you are going to create a chat bot, needs to ask based on the documents or the data from your OutSystems table, means you need to give data based on that. There are certain best practices for those things also. And for now, we are going with the single document chatbot for the single document. So yeah, coming back to the UA module, and I'm creating one quick screen for the Gemini and include that in the menu. And the thing that there are multiple things needed for creating a chatbot. Actually, the main thing is we need to have a structure for chatbot oriented thing. So what we are going to do is we are going to create one structure which contains the question and answer. Chatbot, I'm adding the attribute for question and another attribute for answer. Now the structure is there. So the input parameter for the text field, I'm adding one local variable question, And for loader, I'm adding one boolean variable. And for showing the list of chat, I'm adding one variable with the data type we have created as a list, because we need to show all the questions asked by the user, right? So that I'm making this as a list. Everything is created, so now we can start creating one simple UI. So I'm dragging and dropping the input widget and assigning the question, and just going to add one button load widget, adding one send. I'm just adding some minor CSS. Chin left them. And for the button loader, we already have created one local variable with us, so I am using that. It's loading, it's not a boolean, so I am using that boolean variable for the loader. And I'm creating one screen action for calling the wrapper class we have created. So whenever we are clicking on send button, the question asked in the text box will be read from OutSystems end, and it will be sent to the Gemini AI, and Gemini will respond from the document we are providing. So yeah, forget we, yeah, that's it. We are going to add the list to illustrate it like a chatbot. So margin, adding a list here, and the list we need to assign the local list we have, that's a chatbot. We will populate that in the action here. So the thing is, we are using the button loader, so what we need to do is definitely we need to make the loader as true when the action is starting. So for that, I'm making the boolean variable as true in the action flow. After that, I'm going to call the wrapper action, which we created in the Gemini IS. So for that, we need to take that as a dependency from that module. Gemini. And I'm selecting this one. And here I'm calling that a wrapper Gemini action. And here we need to pass the request. So I'm going to assign the request in our end. As per practices, we need to send the data dynamically, but currently for the demo purposes, I am adding all the things as a static. So as per the, it's I already told about this is a multi-model based AI. So just I am adding that role of the AI, the model, the user, and here we need to pass the text what we are going to achieve with this AI with the user's role. So the AI needs to answer the question from the model's text. The model is the role for this one, from the model's text, and I'm asking it to don't answer anything apart from that. If you see some real time AI based chatbot means it will give answer based on the respective websites or web applications only. It won't give answers beyond that. To achieve that, we need to play with prompts little bit, so that I am adding the line don't answer anything apart from that. It needs to answer from the bill only. So I'm adding that as a text for the users model, and I'm going to add one more model which will hold the bills data for us. So the next one is the model itself, the name of the model is, I'm adding that, and I'm going to add the builds data also. Then only our AI will answer based on that bill only. And in the next model, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass my question. We have created one input widget, right? So the input widgets content, we are going to add it from here. So that's the users area. So the user is giving question. I'm going to add the local variable, the question. So it will reach the AI for us, and the AI will give the answer from the document itself. So once the answer is come, I'm going to append that in the list we have in the chatbot. So for that, I'm going to use the one of the default function in the OutSystems end. That's a list append. So for that, we need to select the list we are going to append data into it. So I just created just choose the chatbot one, and the elements are, the question is the one we already have with the questions input field, and the answer will be come from the AI end. So from the AI, if you look into the JSON, I will show it in the Postman first of all. The answer will be in candidates contains part text. So we need to select that one. So I am selecting the candidates and choosing the content, choosing the part, and I am selecting the text. So the question as well as the answer will be populated in the chatbots area by using this, and after that we need to erase the question in the input widget so that user can able to ask the next question, and the question and the answer history you can able to see the same in the list itself. And once everything is done, we need to off the loader also. So I am going to make is loading as false. Then coming back to screen, we need to add the expression and other things here to so it look like a simple chat but not the big one, as a simple chatbot. So here we need to add on another container for both the question and answers. I'm going to add an expression here. Expression will be the question we have in our end in the list. So I'm assigning the current dot question. I am making the question as little bit bold. So I'm using the font bold, and I'm going to add another container inside the widget for answers. Here I'm going to add an expression for adding the answers. So I'm choosing the answer from the list. And for some cosmetics, I will add some margins. Okay. Then only it will differentiate the question and answer. Fine. Now we are good. I will show you how it will look in the application. But I will tell another thing also. You may think now everything is complete, our chatbot is completed, and if you ask questions, we will get the responses from the AI. AI will respond, but due to some limitations in OutSystems end, we will face only error. I will show you in the screen. Okay, it will ask me to log in, I think, because I didn't made that screen as anonymous one. Yeah, it comes, and I'm going to ask, tell me the total bill amount. And the loader is started, and we are facing the 404 not found. But you may think we have done everything perfectly, and while testing the API in OutSystems, and also it gives the perfect result while we are, I will show you in the integration, while we are hitting on the test button, it gives the response, and we added the same thing into the copy response to the body. Everything works fine, and I hope you have the question arises in your mind now. The thing is, in OutSystems, in the base URL, for example, in the URL, if you have any special characters like a semicolon or some other things, then OutSystem won't analyze the special characters as a special characters. It will take those things as a percentage 3a, percentage 2d, as like those values, so that we are facing that 404 not found. So to overcome that, what we need to do is we need to handle those things in on before request. I hope many of you see this earlier while working with the real-time projects, and for some of them it's totally a new one also. So for that, what we need to do is we need to select this, and we need to go to the on before request. On before request is the thing, we can able to edit the details before sending the request headers and other things to the API. So in the on before request, what we need to do is we need to replace that value. So what I'm going to do is we have assigned the customized request equal to request. So I'm going to change the URL path for that. In OutSystems, we have a default action called replace. So we need to select the customized URL path, and we need to change person 3a as colon, because the colon is the one which was included in the API's endpoint. Actually, OutSystem save the same as percentage 3a, so that we face that issue, this colon. So we have changed that. Now I am going to again publish the is module. And we have changed things in is, so I am taking dependency in the main module also, and publishing the same. Now I am going to the application back and refreshing the screen. Now I'm going to ask, tell me the total bill amount. Oh, give me a minute. I may do something wrong or what. Oh, sorry. I didn't configure the API key at all, so that we are facing this error. I will add it as a site properties default value for now, or else we will configure in the service center. It will be a best approach. Yeah. Now I am going to add the Gemini's key. Now it will work. Give me the total bill amount. Yeah, it shows 7050. If you ask apart from any of the things in the bill, means it won't answer those things. What is the famous food in India? The information is not provided in the text. So based on this methodology only, many of the web applications use creating their chatbots, and it will always answer from the data provided from their end in some of the vector databases or their other database from their end, and the AI will fetch the relevant answer for you from the input data provided from the website owner's end. So this is the thing. If you want to add the chatbot or anything in your OutSystems O11 application, you need to follow all these steps. And we can coming back to the PPT now. Yeah, the OutSystems 11 demo is done, and I will quickly illustrate how we are going to do the same thing in ODC, and I will show you how we are going to do that. Uh, but in ODC, I am not going to do everything step by step because you already see all the steps in O11. So I'm just going to copy and paste things from the O11 directly to ODC. So in ODC, what we need to do is all the steps are same except the fourth one. In O11, we have a modules. In ODC, we have the apps and libraries only. So as per the OutSystem best practice, what we need to do is we need to create a separate library for our integrations, then only, and make it as a reusable one. Then only you can able to reuse that asset across the all your applications in the ODC environment. So for that, as like Neha already mentioned, if you go to OutSystems portals, you can able to get the ODC environment for 10 days trial. And you don't need to worry about that 10 days trial also, because once the trial got over, you can go and renew your trial from your end. But the thing is, the environment will be the shared environment for you, not only your apps, other developers' apps will be also there. So they ask to maintain some healthy relationship in that shared ODC environment portal. So if we go there, we have option to take me to ODC. I already created a 10 days trial for us. So I'm going to open the ODC portal. Need to log in into this. I need to open the ODC studio also. It's not open. Okay, it got open now. Okay, it opened twice, I think. I will close one window once the ODC Studio is launched. Usually it won't take much time. I think there is some issues with my laptop. It got hanged. Yeah, I will copy the environment from browser. Still login. This one is a shared environment. I'm going to add that. Yeah, it opens a separate tag for the authentication purposes. Sorry, I gave my O11 credentials. Yeah, it will take us back to the ODC studio. Yeah, it's logging in. I will close the other one. Yeah, service module we have created. Here we need to query for our API integration. So currently I'm creating the same, and I'm naming it as Gemini library. Gemini lib. And I'm creating a library now. Yeah, now the library is created for us. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the copy paste from here. Okay, usually it works with the enterprise level application, but here we need to do the manual things. Okay, we have everything's handy with our end, so I'm going to do the things quicker. You already know about the integration and other things. We have done the same steps in the O11, so going to do the same things here again. I'm adding the same request. It will give us the response for us. A response came. I'm going to add the same in the body. The steps are pretty similar like the old 11 only. The thing is there we are using the service module, and here we are using the library. That's the only difference. Apart from that, all the steps for integrating this AI is totally the same. So as like the same here also we are going to add the on before request for changing the person as 3A as colon. So I'm just repeating the steps we have done in the O11. So as like the same, we are going to create a wrapper for this one. So I'm creating one wrapper server X1. As like the same we have done in the see the site properties name is changed as settings. So we need to create a setting for Gemini key. It's just a text, so we can and as like the same I'm just copying the request and response as the input and output parameters. and we are expecting the same here. The structures are private, so I'm going to make it as public. Okay, here some default structure also present, so we need to select the ones created by. You may wonder why these tests are not shown in O11 while we are integrating the Gemini AI. So the thing is, these structures are added once we are using the on before request. After using that only, we are getting the structures. If I go to O11 now, you will see those structures also. See, these structures are added because the on before request, the input and output parameters are based on those structures only, so that those structures are added automatically. So I am making the structures created from APIs and as public, and going to do the same thing in the O11 by just dragging and dropping the AI, and I'm using the setting here. That's a site property in O11. Request directly as the same. Yeah, now we are good to publish module. The action is public. So we need to create a UI thing, right? It's not module actually. We are good to publish the. So for UI, we need to create a application. In O11 we have a module. Here it's an application. Everything in the single container. The containerization concept. So I'm creating a web app and naming it as Gemini UI. Yeah, it's added. And the main thing in ODC is whenever we are creating a library, we need to release that library. Then only it will be added into the app, or else we need to manually choose it from here. So the thing is, we need to made it as reusable thing, means we need to go there into the ODC portal and we need to release the library, or else we can make it as a dependency to single app also. But if you want to reuse it among other application also, means you need to release the library first in the ODC portal. I will show you the procedure for that. Yeah, Gemini library is there. If you click on that, you can able to see the option called release library. If you release the version of the library, then only the library become the reusable asset, or else it won't. It shows the two revisions. uh, there are two times we have published this module, so it shows the two things. So currently what we are going to do is we are going to make the most recent one, and I'm clicking on the continue button, and we can add the versions also. For now I'm just going with the 0.1.0, and release notes I'm adding it as just Gemini chatbot, and giving the continue. After reviewing that, we can release the library. Now the library is released and we have a version of 0.1.0 with us. So if we go now, and the UI means you can able to locate the library we have released in the ODC portal. Gemini library. If we didn't do the release process, then it won't be released in the list of applications here. So after that, I'm going to select all these things because anyway we need the structure as well as the action. Yeah, the dependency is added now, and now we are going to add on screen as like the same we have done in the O11 application, and naming the same as Gemini. Okay, as like the same, we need to create the variables now, variables and structures. I'm going to add the structure for the chatbot. I'm adding the attribute for question and answer as like we have done earlier in the O11. Coming back to the UI part, I'm adding the variables for question. Now the loader is low, and for the chatbot as a list to show all the interaction we have done in the API, we are marking it as a list. Dragging and dropping the container and adding the input box. And adding the button loader as like we have done in the O11. For cosmetics, I am using some margin properties. Oh, sorry, I need to do it on the button. Okay, we'll add that in a separate container, enclosed in the container. We have a button inside that. We have the space for us and for the loader and the action. The same like the screen action is created. We need to do the same way. We are making the loader as true. Then calling the wrapper action. Request, we need to do the same things what we have done in the O11 as like the user, model and user to make it as a multi-model based chatbot. So first I'm adding the role as user, and giving it a text that we have used earlier. Answer questions from model text and don't answer apart from that. And the second one is model, and here we are going to add the bills data, and third one again we need to use the user model, and here we are going to add the question as like we have done in the O11. Now we will get response from the API, so we need to append the same to the list. Chatbot, and the element is question and answer as like earlier I have told, it will be in the output structure from the API's end. For that we need to navigate to candidates, content, part, text. Now we have both question as well as answer. We are going to make the question input box back to null for making the user to ask the next question, and we are going to stop the loader also. Fine. Now the logic is done. We need to create a list in the main screen. Oh, sorry, I'm copying the list action. And adding the same as like we have done in the row 11. First I'm adding the expression for the question. We have added in the text box. So I'm choosing the list question property, and for cosmetics I'm adding another container for the answer. And for cosmetics and I'm making this questions container as little bit bold. Yeah, forget to add it here. Margin. Fine. Now everything is perfect. Can publish the module. The last time we forgot to set the site property. We need to add the same thing. Here it's called a setting. So we need to add the settings. For that, we need to do is we need to open the app from our end. Wait for the app to publish. It's done. Now we can go and open the Gemini UI in the ODC portal. We see that you can able to see the settings property here. You may wonder, in OutSystems 11 you need to go to the specific service module where we have created the site property. In there only we need to add the API key, but the things in ODC is totally different. Actually the thing is, if you create a site property in a library, and it will be containerized with the app you have taken the dependency of the library. So in whatever the apps you are using, you need to add the separate value for the respective site property. For example, it's one of the good update from O11 to ODC. For example, if you added the site property directly in the service module, if someone take a dependency of the module, means everyone will use the same keys of the AA. But in ODC, if you see this approach, means for example, if someone takes the Gemini library as a dependency, then they need to assign their key for the site property, then only it will work. So comparatively it will be a big update from the OutSystems end. Library, we are using the custom one, because in library we didn't configure the site property as a default value, so we need to mark our custom one, then only it will work. Then I'm going to click on the save button. In ODC, actually what we need to do is the things are not done yet. We need to give the access for the UA application we have created to the user. So for that, we need to assign the role for the respective application. Here I have added my email already. So I'm clicking on it and I'm going to add the end user access. So I'm going to add the Gemini UI access also. Then only we can able to access this from the front end, or else we can't. Whatever. Okay, I need to add the manage roles. I didn't have the role for that, so that in the table it's not visible. So I'm going to assign the role now. Gemini UI. It's showing here. I'm selecting this and clicking on the save button. Now the role is assigned to the user. Now I can directly click on the open in browser. Need to log in with my ODC credentials. Yeah, now it's live. We can ask the question. Explain the else what we can ask the same question is to tell me the bill amount, total bill amount. Yeah, it also gives the same result we have got in the Vodafone. So the AI integration is pretty same, but the things are a little bit different. As like the library we have used here, and we are using the service module there, and we need to release the library and we need to configure our custom API keys. Based on that, if you added the default value, means you don't need to add the API keys for every application, but it will be updated one in the ODCCN comparing with the Vola one. So this is the demo from the ODCs, and we can come back to the PPT now. ODC's demo is done, and we can see some of the real world use cases in using the AI. So main thing, we already see the chatbots and virtual assistants. If you see, most of the real-time websites have the chatbots with them, and it will answer questions from the website's data, and moreover it will be used for the content generation and summarization. So most of us use the chat gpt for some of the content generation or summarization. Everyone will use those things, and code review assistance. So currently AI is evolving, and if you are doing any code and if you give that code to AI, it will optimize your code, or else it will fix the bugs in your codes also. So you can use this AI in that scenarios also. And AI driven recommendations, you can ask AI, just give me some recommendation on this topic. We have certain ideas with this. You can ask the AI to make it more optimized one. And the support automation, now AI can do the support automation area also. So these are the real world use cases. So that's it. Now we can go to the Q&A bot. I will open the chat bot, not the chat bot, chat area, to see whether any questions are there.
Yeah, so I've started Q&A section. You can post your questions there, guys. I think Dinesh wants, and if there's a doubt or something, but his hand is raised from start. So, Dinesh, if you want to say
Okay, I
something,
think
you can go ahead.
yeah. Have we set the keys?
Okay.
Fine. Oh, sorry. I opened.
Yeah. So in
Before
Q&A section, guys, if you have any question, please post here. We have seen both the demo O11 ODC. I hope this was useful for you. You have gained it something from it. Okay.
Oh, what? There is a question from Dheeraj. What all AI models we can easily integrate with OutSystems apart from Gemini? Actually, all the AI models provided from the yeah, from their end is easy to integrate in the OutSystem. For example, if you take GPT, that's also you can directly integrate with the REST services. And if you see with the other AIs like the DeepSeek, which was launched the month or a couple of months back, that also you have the REST services for those things. And for AWS, if you go to the AWS Bedrock and other things, that most of the AIs are accessible via the REST services. Only the few things you need to do to connect with the help of the C# script for creating the AWS signature and other things. But most of the base AI models you can directly connect with the REST services.
Thank you, Murli. I think the question was a good question. Any other question, guys?
I was recently trying to consume an API with token, but I had to concatenate it bearer plus token instead of directly pass it. It's a nice question. Actually, I hope you may use the Chat GPT's API. Actually, if you see many of the API providers, there is authentication from their end. So they have used they may pass those API keys from the headers. So that they are using the bearer word in the header. Currently in Gemini, if you see that means we are used the API key as a input parameter. I will show that from the application. Yeah. If you see here, we are using the API key as a input parameter. But if you are going with the Chat GPT or some other AI, during those AIs, you need to pass those API keys via headers. Some of the headers definitely need the bearer word before the token, so that we are using that. In ODC setting property value for specific application, could you please explain little bit brief? Yeah, sure. It's a nice question, Google Prasant. Actually, if you see in O11, if you want to change the site property, it will directly take you to the service center and you will edit the site property from the respective service module. But in ODC, the things are totally different. You need to go to the app where you have consumed your uh, library from your end, and if you click on that app, you can able to see the settings you have used. I will click on the Gemini UA again. And in the configuration you can able to set the custom key. For example, in the inside the ODC portal, if you set the libraries settings value as the default one, you can go with the modules one. I will show you. If you assigned anything as a default value, then here you have an option to select the default value also from the library, or else you need to go with the custom one. Most of the times, if the ODC environment is shared by the multiple application holders, application owners means, at that time this feature is totally helpful for them, because they don't need to configure their API key directly in the library. And respective application owners first will come and set their custom key from here, and the second owner will come there and they will open their application as like the another application as like the Gemini UA, and they can configure their API key directly from there. So the key is not exposed with the another application owner, but in O11 definitely if you directly add the key as a side property in the service module, the key will get exposed to other applications. To avoid that, in O11 we need to create a site property separately among different modules. For example, in the UA mod, not the UA modules, in the another core services modules in the real-time scenarios where the application owners consume the IS. I hope Google Prasant I covered the answer for you. If it's good, you can just add a thumbs up, or else if you want to explain it again, I will do the same. I think the another like is added. Fine. And the question from Nani is it possible to make the AI API as user dependent? Because some answers are dependent on previous questions too. Yeah, it will. Actually, it's just a simple demo, right? So that we directly added the documents data into the AI and we just ask questions. But your question is totally meaningful. In real-time applications, you can go to ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever it may be. It will totally answer based on your previous responses also. For that, what they will do from their end is they have an option to do the continuous iterations. You need to enable that. You need it's just a basic demo, so that only we have covered up to the certain level. But your question is totally meaningful. We can able to do that also in some advanced areas.
Okay.
Can right. And the another question from Kailas, can we encode the URL instead of replacing person 3a? Yeah, totally, you can able to achieve that using the encode thing, because our system won't do the changes while we are encoding. And for this demo, I just want to explain with this scenario. We can able to do with the person 3a, and we can do the changes via the on before request, so that I explain the people with that scenario. But your question is totally right, you can use that also to avoid some injections. Anything else, team?
Any other question, guys? We'll take one more question if you have any, and then we'll move to the quiz.
Sure, definitely.
Murli is available on LinkedIn, right? He's available.
Yeah,
You
I
can
will
connect.
show the LinkedIn URL of all the organizers as well as mine. You can scan this one to follow all of us. Here are the URL LinkedIn QR codes for all the organizers from our end. I will keep this slide open for next 30 seconds. You can scan and follow them in their LinkedIn's. Once you have done, I will move to the LinkedIn QR code for myself.
So you can connect with us anytime in future if you want, and we'll be happy to help you guys.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Murli, we have a question. Maybe we can take that
Yeah,
and
we
move ahead.
can go back.
The question is, we are giving offer data to API, right? What about the previous?
Yeah, exact. Actually, for this simple demo, we have used this strategy. Actually, in the API's request body itself, there are some input parameters. If you see Gemini, it have the continuous iteration of question support is available with their end. For that, you need to handle that API in some advanced level. In OutSystems, if you want to do those things, means definitely you need to go with some C# packages, or you need to go with the you need to save the previous. It's actually saving the previous response and sending those also to API is a bad practice. If it's a simple small level of application, you can do that. But the best way is, if you see most of the AI chatbots in the applications you have seen in the website, they definitely use the C# script, or in some of the real time application, what we have done is we have used the S3 bucket. So our data will be saved in our server of the S3 bucket, and we will process the data in the lambda, and the lambda will move those data to the vector db, and from the vector db we will answer the questions. And we have included all the previous question responses and other things. We handle those things in the lambda chain. It's just a sample demo, so that only I directly integrated the API and directly give the data to the API. For example, the bill I have directly entered. So I absolutely agree. It's totally a privacy. We can do those kind of things, but to understand from the everyone's perspective, I just give those things directly. But the best practice is always we need to send data as a vector format or some other format, then only the user can't able to read those things, and we can handle those things as a lambda or some other script we can use in our servers. That's the best practice.
Okay. So I hope I've answered all the questions. Thank you so much, Murli, for
Yeah, I
taking those
will
questions.
show this QR also. If someone wants,
Yeah.
they can. Yeah.
You can scan this and reach out to Murli for your doubts in future, okay, related to AI or anything, right? Without
Yeah,
systems, you
definitely.
can reach out to us anytime. I'm going to finish the Q&A now, okay?
Yeah, fine. We can. I hope we can go to the quiz now.
Yeah.
I will
So
stop my screen
you can
sharing.
stop sharing.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's now time for the quiz. I'm going to share my screen. Uh, so let me know whenever you can see my screen. Okay. Share screen. Share screen. Share.
yeah. Your screen is visible now.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm loading the quiz. You need to go to slido.com. Okay, slido.com from your mobile phones or your laptop. Go to this, enter this game ID, or you can also scan this QR code. Right. Enjoy. Great. 18, 21 participants have joined. 22. Come on, guys. So, I don't know how many people are there. 60 above it was. Great. So we have around 54 right now in the quiz. 55. Come on, guys, please join fast. There are 65 in the group, right? There are 65 in the session. 58 have joined. Come on, I just want only some few people are remaining. Please join, guys, fast. 59. Okay. So we are going to start the quiz. There are 10 questions, guys, and you will get 20 seconds to answer each question. After each question, you will see the leaderboard, okay? And you get 20 seconds to answer. Not only the correct answer, but also the time you are taking will be counted, okay? So, yeah, let's get started. MCQs are there. You have one question, four options, okay? Let me start. I'm going to start, okay? There are 61 participants. Those who have left, please join fast. First question. What is the primary tool used to consume REST API in OutSystems 11? Please read the question correctly, then answer. Okay. 92% have answered correct. That is Service Studio. It's not Integration Studio, guys. Consuming REST API, we only do in Service Studio, right? Integration Studio is for external DB connection and .NET code integration, right? ODC Studio is there in ODC. So answer is B. Let me reveal you the answer. Most of you have answered it correctly. And let me reveal the leaderboard now. So you can see the leaderboard. We have Dinesh Kumar at the top. He has answered only in 7 seconds. Then we have Dheeraj, Abhijit, Umair, and Farzeen. Mohammed Farzeen. Okay. Let's go to the next question, everyone. In ODC, where do you define reusable REST integrations? Okay. Most of you have answered C, that is library. Let me reveal the answer. That's the correct answer, so most of you are right. Library is the place where we define reusable REST integrations. Okay. So I hope you know that we can do REST integration. Consuming an API can be done in apps as well, but we're talking about reusable REST integrations, right? Let me reveal the leaderboard. Okay, we have Sana at the top now. Dinesh came to second position. That is, uh, he has taken 14 seconds. Then Abhijit, Dheeraj, and Mukesh. Okay, let's see the next question. What HTTP method is commonly used to invoke the Gemini API for content generation? Okay, so we have got like mixed reactions. Uh, 62% have answered D, that is post, and 36% have answered A, that is get. Okay, let me reveal the answer. The answer is post. That is what we have also used, right? Let me reveal the leaderboard. It's again changed. We have Abhijit at the top, Mukesh, Gokul, Mohammed Farzeen, and Sana. Okay, let me go to the next question. What is a key benefit of testing your API in Postman before integrating in OutSystems? Okay, time's up. Oh, most of you have answered C, easy debugging and validation. Um, 22% have answered simplified authentication and 10% for better performance. Let me reveal the answer. It's C, right? It makes sense. Easy debugging and validation. That's why we go to Postman. Let me reveal the leaderboard. It's again changed. We have Sana at the top, Farzeen, Dheeraj, Rahul, and Sachin, the fifth position. Let me go to next question. Where can you store an API key securely in ODC? It's in ODC, guys. ODC. 69% says it's D, setting. Okay, let me reveal the answer. Most of you are correct. The answer is setting. Okay. We refer site property as setting in ODC. Let me reveal the leaderboard. We have Sana at the top, Mohammad Farzeen, Dheeraj, Rahul at fourth position, and Krunal at fifth position. 5 questions are done. We have 5 more questions, guys. So come on. We have like 5 questions are there. You can still there's still chance for you. Okay. Sixth question. What must you do before calling a function from a library in your ODC application? Okay. Most of you are saying B, add the library as a dependency to your application. Okay, let me reveal the answer. Answer is B. So most of you are correct. Rebuild the library as module. No, we are not going to do it, right? Why we are going to? There's no concept of module, right? And import the library into the screen directly. No. Create a new database entity. No, only B makes sense. So it's add the library as dependency to your application. Let me reveal the leaderboard. It's again slightly changed. We have Farzeen at the top now. Sana second, Dheeraj, Sebastian, and Sachin. Okay, let me tell you, like I'm seeing the detailed leaderboard, right? So, top 16 people have answered all the questions correctly. Okay, 6 out of 6 for top 16. That's incredible, guys. Let me go to next question. What OutSystems component should you use to isolate your Gemini API logic for reuse? Okay, time's up. Most of you have answered B, that is the server action. Okay, it's loading. Guys, you can hear me, right? Murli, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, it's stuck. The quiz is stuck then. So
Okay.
let's see. Okay. So the answer is B, server action. Most of you have answered it correctly. 89% have answered B, and that's the correct way. Let me reveal the leaderboard. We again have Sana at the top, Farzeen, Sebastian, Dheeraj, and Ramprasad. Okay. Next question, eighth question, guys. What part of the Gemini response typically contains the generated content? Now, if you have seen the demo, this was, you will be able to answer this. Okay. 69% have answered C, candidates.content.paths.text. Let me reveal the answer. Answer is C. Most of you are correct. Great job, guys. The leaderboard is like this. We have Sana, Farzeen, Ramprasad, Sebastian, and Dheeraj. Okay. Let's go to the ninth question. This is the second last question, guys. How can you handle errors from Gemini API inside your OutSystems logic? 2 seconds, 1 second, time's up. Okay. Most of you have answered B, use exception handler flow. Let me reveal the answer. The correct answer is B, use exception handler flows. Let me reveal the leaderboard. It's slightly changed now. We have Ramprasad, Sana, Ramprasad, Dheeraj, Mukesh, and Sebastian. Okay, now the last question, everyone. Please try to answer as fast as you can. Okay, the last question. How can you hide API keys from being exposed in OutSystems client side logic? Only 54 have answered. And the answer most of you have given is C, encapsulate calls and server actions. Let me reveal the answer. That's the correct answer. Encapsulate calls in server actions. Okay, let me reveal the final leaderboard. So we have Sana at the top, Ram Prasad, Dheeraj, Rahul, and Sebastian. Um, Let me stop the quiz. Okay, let me take a screenshot first of all. I want to show you the top 10 winners. Okay, I want to show you all the position of everyone. So let me stop this and go back. Because if you are in top 10, you stand a chance to win a voucher. So I want to make sure that everyone knows the top 10 position. So let me go here. Leaderboard. I think I need to go to interactions. Just here. Find the leaderboard. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe start interaction. Okay, these are the quiz members that were there. Okay, maybe I'll just post the top 10 members' name in the uh, in my LinkedIn post. I'll just try once. Okay, I just stop this. So I'll show you the top 10 members' name in the leaderboard that I'm going to share on my LinkedIn post. Okay, the top five we have already seen, and I'm sorry I'm not able to show you the top 10. I don't want to waste time. We are already crossed the time, mentioned time, right? So all the top 10 winners will get stand a chance. Not only you, all others who have joined the session. I want you to know that there are two more sessions coming up for this masterclass. Every week we had the first session in this week. We are having next session in the next week, and then in the last week of April we have the last session. And if you attend all the three sessions and you are there, in the quiz, you stand a chance to win a voucher. Okay, so please, I want you to see all of you there in the next session. And thank you so much. Okay, before leaving, there are 49 still, right? I want all of you to please come on camera if you can. I want to take a quick picture. There were like 75 people in this. So I want all of you to come on camera. This was one of the biggest, right, events, one of the biggest sessions we had conducted. Mm, Let me zoom out. Everyone, can you please come on camera? I'll just take a quick screenshot. Thank you so much, those who have come. Mayur, Sana, Srinivasu, Mahesh, Babita, Sebastian, Dana Singh, Kirtana, Siddharth, Sonia, Kunal. I can see all of you. Mukesh, can you be Mukesh and Nani? I want you to see both of you. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm just clicking the picture now. Great. Done. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. You have learned the AI, how to use AI in O11 ODC, what was the topic. And I hope to see you again in the coming sessions. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you all.
guys. Thank you so much, Murli, for
Yeah.
conducting such a great session.
Thanks, Mega, for this opportunity also. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Next week, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you.